أشرف نفطر بيتزا. نفطر بيتزا.
السلام عليكم. Yeah, how you doing, Tant?
هو عنده سرب، خليني أوريكي.
I'm live.
برسم. تعرفي هذا أغراض برسمها.
Yeah, right now I just actually started.
Yeah. She's saying, how are you doing? She's in Texas with her son.
How are you doing, Tant?
Alhamdulillah, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, just working on my stuff, alhamdulillah. And how's your son? His son, Luay, right?
Luay.
I remember
He has
Luay.
kids. He's in Texas.
Yeah.
He lives in Texas.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you know.
That's
She
awesome.
has another son named Aus, and she has the twin sisters. They're Fadwa and Najwa, right?
Wow.
I never met
Mashallah.
Najwa. I only met Fadwa. صح? I didn't, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let him be. Oh.
All right. Well, I'll see you, Tant.
Assalamualaikum.
Please, mom, come over. Visit us.
Assalamualaikum.
Masalama.
She's right here. Why are you looking over there?
I don't know. I'm looking at that guy over there. Oh, masalama, Tant. Hey, what up, Kaz? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Gilini? Jill Lenny Lenny? I hope I said that right. Thanks for the like. How you doing? Mm-mm-mm. May I ask what type of comic are you drawing? I am working on a manga styled comic, and it's called Demonation, and it's about these cloud agents in black, who keep humanity asleep to the truly magical world they live in. It takes place in a fictional world, so it doesn't take place on Earth, but it's a place that's very similar to the world we live in. Thank you. I think it's kind of like Men in Black meets fairy tales instead of aliens. But that's a generic way to explain it. There's a lot more to it than that. For example, there's like a gargoyle pimp character in the story. He's sort of like the Epstein kind of figure in the story. There's Yakuza like demon mafia. There's a vampire mafia, a goblin mafia, a hunter mafia. There's fairy tales and humans and fairy tales who pretend to be human to live a better life for them and their families in the human side, where humans have no clue about them for the most part because they can't see them. And there's this whole secret government that wants to make sure that it stays that way. Um, and they make sure that fairy tales don't try to wake up the humans or anything disrupts the status quo. And the main character, he actually doesn't come from that world. He comes from a world called the Old World, where it's uncharted and almost endless and extremely dangerous. And where he was found by this character right here, Keen, he was found at the edge of the Old World. He had to basically bring him back, bring him out of that place. All right. And he has no memory of who he is or where he comes from or even what his name is, right? But he has to learn about the new world, the world where all that stuff I said earlier exists, fairy tales and humans living side by side and all this stuff, and having to pretend to be human. It's all like around this bubbling up of this great awakening that's going to happen in the story world where humans realize the truth. And depending on how that truth is accepted, if it's done through fear, it could be manipulated to turn those fairy tales into monsters, right? To make them appear as if they're evil creatures, but they're just like people like you and me. Um, yeah, that's enough, I think. Yeah, so in the story world, there's this group of beings that nobody could see unless they're interested in your soul. This group of beings, these entities, they're known as soul merchants. And they've made a group called the Mal Branch. These guys, their whole thing is to try to make sure that the humans, when they do wake up to the reality of fairy tales literally being maybe their potentially their husband, wife, their neighbor, their best friend, their enemy, whatever, right? The reality of their fairy tales existing, these guys, they want to tilt it towards the fear direction. And so there's humans that are actually awake, that they're able to see fairy tales. And you would think, oh, those must be the main characters or the good guys. Actually, a lot of the times, the humans that are awake in the new world, they're already compromised because they've been recruited into this secret society called uh, the Siegfried. And the Siegfried basically is a religious, they follow a forbidden religious doctrine that teaches that humans are destined to inherit the world and that fairy tales are inferior and we're essentially there to be for them, not the other way around. And it uses an interesting proof to push this belief. It says that look at how humans have this natural instinct to where no other peoples can, no other, only humans can do this, where they can have a child, a baby, with a fairy tale. They can create hybrids, so human fairy tale hybrids. And so this is such a rare thing. It's unbelievable that only humans could do it. Why is that? In the doctrine of Siegfried, he teaches that that is actually an instinct that he calls inheritance. And it means that humans are destined to inherit the world over these fairy tales. And so a lot of these humans that are awake, unfortunately, they buy into this. And what ends up happening is they do evil shit in the name of causing um, that when that disclosure happens, when the truth comes out, making sure that humans, for the most part, that were asleep, wake up terrified to the fairy tale truth rather than it being peaceful. So they could paint them as a monster. So they have a whole agenda with that in the story. And the soul merchants are working with that, of course. And then you have on the opposite end, you have this fairy tale terrorist organization called Shabazz, where they formulated sort of in the opposite way, where because they've seen how humans react to fairy tales and how they when they wake up, that and throughout history it has never been a good thing. It has typically been a a place where people were assassinated or martyred or just horrible things happened to them, right? And there was war, whatever. So they said, you know what? They also have a religion, but in their belief, it's called the Truth of Shah. They believe that no matter how you look like on the outside, no matter how different you are, we're all equal on the inside because we all have a soul, right? So this is their belief. It's their fundamental belief that we're all equal. But these terrorist organization group, they say, well, except humans, right? They worked it in there. And this, of course, you have the soul merchants who manipulated that too. So the soul merchants seem to be manipulating the different philosophies that exist in the world, the story world. And they're taking something that's supposed to be peaceful and turning it into something radical, at least for the fairy tales. Fairy tale terrorist group called Shabazz, what their goal is to unite the fairy tale territory to make sure that they can, team up against that secret government I told you about, the cloud, right? Those cloud agents that control the new world. And the Siegfried, the humans that are awake, that are a part of that secret society, they are doing the same thing. Their goal is the opposite, but it's the same goal to take over, defeat the cloud, and take over, right? And then you got those mafias, the goblin mafia, the demon mafia, the hunter mafia, and the vampire mafia. And they all have their thing, and they work in the black market and do horrible things. So the story is more than just Men in Black meets fairy tales. There's a whole deeper political and spiritual reality that it's invoking. makes you question, makes you wonder, like, well, what the hell? This seems awfully close to the world we live in. Thank you, Sign. Appreciate you. If you guys want to see some of my finished art, I'm going to take my sweet time in this beginning phase. It's going to be unclear for you guys for a while. If you want to see my finished art, check out my page. Look at my time-lapse art videos. I just dropped another video of a page I did yesterday. So, check it out, guys. See some of my finished work. So it's like two realities in different ways. Yeah. Yeah. It's all perspectives, and it's all about manipulating how the truth is perceived. And uh, the real bad guys, I already told you who they were. There's more, way more to it, of course, but there's also real good guys, too. So in this world where it's full of lies and secrets and people who don't know the full truth, and people have a manipulated truth and so forth, right? In the story of Demon Nation, it's layered and layered in secrecy, layered and layered in really, really deep secret. So there's somebody in the story world who knows the whole story, who knows the whole picture of what's going on, right? There are people in there, and there's a true bad guy and there's a true good guy, right? There's a group of them versus them, and it's something which you get rewarded with later in the story, but you're gonna see in the beginning all these different factions, these, you know, secret society of radical humans that are awake and are human supremacists over fairy tales. And you're gonna see the fairy tale terrorists doing the same shit. And then you're gonna see the mafias, like I said. And they all want fucking a piece of the pie. They all want to control. They want to tip the balance of power in their favor. And the cloud is just a hub for all these different groups to send their double agents through to collect rare and valuable items and weapons and advancements, um, to learn secret information about the old world that you're not allowed to enter unless you are a gold class agent. Um, there's a lot of there's a lot of layers to the secrets in the story, and so a big part of the main character's journey, because of the fact he doesn't remember who he is. He doesn't remember who his name. He was found in a ghost town where he was likely the one that caused the massacre, right? With this power over death and destruction, this power that has the ability to basically end all living things around him, or to create a black hole, or to, bring out these soul devouring leviathans from the limbo, right? He has a horrible, horrible, monstrous, easy access to this destructive spiritual power. And when he was found by Keen, this cloud agent from Cloud Nine, right? These guys are the ones that specialize in going to the old world. He was he he was clearly a threat, and Keen was about to finish him off. But in this page that you're looking at, it's a little hard to see. Keen was actually healing his wound because he realized that he's just a scared little boy who doesn't remember who he is, and that he tells them that to find out who you are, that's a secret you have to find out for yourself. And he's going to basically bring him under his wing, and he has a plan because somebody sent him there to the edge of the old world to go and find this boy, to find the main character, right? For a reason, to harvest his power, right? He's not following orders. Keen is bringing him back to the new world. So Keen has a plan he's cooking up to. And basically, the main character, he doesn't understand how important he is to the whole world, the whole universe of the story, and the whole epic. He has no clue. He's not necessarily a chosen one like that. There are chosen ones in the story, but not the term is not used. But that type of art, that archetype, you know, he's the perceived anti-savior. and it devolves into that. And as he awakens and he learns more about who he really is, not who I think make you think he is, you'll see that he's always been that person since page one. And that's something that I can't get too into, but yeah, I'm just at this point I'm just rambling. I better get to drawing. Shit, motherfuckers. Thank you, Jalini. Yeah, so the main character, he struggles with thinking that he's a monster because he wakes up surrounded by, you know, the townspeople's skeletal remains. He sees these giant sights sticking out of the ground. He sees that he has this power and he can bring out and turn his arm into a scythe and generate this death energy. He thinks it's him. Everything's pointing to him being the one that did this horrible thing. And so he assumes he's a monster. So he acts like it. He believes it. And it's only until he meets Keen that he's given a chance to snap out of it. And the previous pages, he basically slapped some sense into him. That's all I'm gonna say. And he had to do some tough love, but he helped him out. He helped him out because he made him snap out of his psychotic state of thinking that he's this monstrous creature that's just meant to destroy mindlessly and endlessly. That's all he is good for. That it's better that he's not even around for everybody, right? All these negative thoughts. Keen comes in basically and slaps that out of him and tells him that you get to decide who you are. You get to go and find that out. And so that he's going to help him get out of the edge of the old world. He's going to take him back to the new world, and he's going to prepare him to, you know, learn what it is to go on that journey, to find who you really are. And so we're dealing with a story that is constantly searching for truth, right? And like I said, secrets. So many secrets. You got a secret fucking government. You got a secret society. You got a secret group of soul merchants. Fuck. Everything is secret. Humans know this much, and these guys know this much, and it's layered and layered and controlled. And the main character is obsessed with one thing: truth. Who he is. Who am I? That's his question. So being obsessed with that one thing, he's the perfect medicine for that world. And being that he is pure destruction, that he has this power over destruction like that, he's the perfect remedy to a world that's overgrown a in a wrong direction. And he he begins to question everything that he's experiencing in the new world, and the why are the way things are the way they are, like why is it set up that way. And yeah, he does all that while trying to find where Keen disappeared to, because after Keen raised him and took him to the new world, Keen disappears and leaves him with his journal full of all the secrets that only he can see. But on that last page he turns to, he sees that it's stained in a strange marking in blood. And he thinks, horrible, what happened to Keen? Is Keen dead? What's going on? So he wants to go to the old world. He needs to join the cloud, become a gold class agent, and he has to join basically his opposite. This organization, it's all about keeping secrets, and they'll kill you for it, right? And he has to join that, learn from within, and while doing that, having access to all these secrets that he's not supposed to even know, and try to figure out what is Keen trying to tell him. Where is his older brother Keen that he considers as a brother now, basically, uh, you know, and who he is at the same time, trying to figure out all this stuff. And so he goes on that journey. He has to climb the ranks, and that means going from the human territory to the fairy tale territory, and experiencing the different life that is there. How fairy tales blend into human society, and that they have to watch themselves. Even like if a fairy tale falls in love with a human, the cloud has to kidnap the human and wake up that human so they could see what they're about to get married to. Right? Like, do you really want to marry this fairy tale? Like, it turned out this is not just a human, your human girlfriend. She's actually a fucking goblin. I don't know. Whatever. Pick your fairy tale. Um, a lot of the times it doesn't work out, but most of the time, those humans, when they wake up by force like that, they're afraid of being put back to sleep, so they'll just play along, and then they'll actually get recruited, because remember, there's double agents within the cloud from that secret society I was telling you about, the Siegfried, the humans. They are able to recruit these peoples and essentially just kind of, there's so much stuff. Like I said, like I could keep going on and on and on. There's a lot of moving parts to this thing. May I ask, Happy, he makes a difficult choice. What do you mean? Okay. Oh yeah, no problem. It's hot in there, huh? Yeah. Very, very good job. Why is it so hot in there? So hot. Were you cooking something? No. Oh my god. I can feel the heat waves. That's crazy. Yeah, open it. That's crazy. I meant what happened. He made a good choice. I meant. It's good, huh? No. No, it's reading the comments. Yes, beautiful, nice. Thank you. It's still barely starting. Like, والله ما شاء الله. Thank you, Habibti. Okay, I meant what happened. He made a good choice. Yeah, he made a good choice joining the cloud. You mean, or basically getting slapped to not think he's a monster, or what was a good choice? I said so many things I don't even remember. I'm sorry. Willow, what are you doing out here? Come here. This is Willow. He's so relaxed. Thank you, Willow. Oh, llegadito. Llegadito. Willow, Jelini say hi to you. What are you gonna say? Nothing? Oh, you think you're so good, huh? Come on. Oh, he don't like it. He wanna go. No, get the heck out of here. You're not welcome here, Mr. Willow. I'm joking, Mr. Willow. All right. You know it. I gotta actually charge my phone. It's gonna die, so I'm gonna have to end the stream. I should have brought the charger up. But it was fun talking to you, meeting you, Jelini. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Sign, for your comment. Thank you, Kaz, and everybody else. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, Willow. He doesn't like to be on camera. He's camera shy because he knows he's a superstar. All right, later.